Well, hello and thank you for joining me for another Alex on Tech and ITY video. I'm joined today by John Mustac. He is the founder and director of Systemology. Welcome to the program.
Hey, thanks, Alex.
So I thought I'd start at the beginning and just ask if you could please tell us about Systemology and what it does in 2020.
Sure. Well, Systemology, we've had a good 15 years in IT service management, process transformation. So that kind of covers IT service desk, agile project management, intranets with process workflow,
Mm-hmm.
and other sort of business process automation areas like recruitment management, staff onboarding, offboarding, marketing, financials processing, that type of thing is sort of where we work. Our general approach, people might be interested in understanding how we do our work.
Sure.
And we start off with doing business process reviews and redesign. Then we do custom configuration of the technical platform.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, we deploy, and then we do ongoing support. That can be training, ad hoc services, a managed service. So that's the kind of work we do. Our clients, so in the market, our clients come from all industries and segments. They're positioned all the way across the country. But most of our clients tend to come from enterprise and government, government being local, state, and federal. And our client organizations typically have at least 1,000 people in their business.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what we do. The other important part of our business is our vendor partnerships. In the past, we've worked with a range of vendors, BMC, ServiceNow, Microsoft, and we look to focus on key technologies that we believe have strong value that we can add to and bring through to our customers. So now we work with 2 vendors, and Atlassian is far away our most important partner.
Mm-hmm.
They've demonstrated a commitment to their product development, their feature improvement plan, and they have a licensing model that really delivers great value for money. I think it leaves the rest of the competitors for dead. And I think lastly, our customers tell us that our most valuable differentiator is our combination of our expert business process skills, our deep technical knowledge, and our commitment out to customer satisfaction. So really that sort of allows us to deliver a tangible business improvement, business outcomes, when we deliver our solutions. So that's kind of us in a nutshell.
Sure. And obviously the question of 2020, how has COVID affected not only yourself, but also all of your customers?
Yeah, look, that's interesting. I think like everyone, we've all been working from home. I mean, our team's been working from home since Feb this year, and we're still not back to the office. I think we'll get back to the office in the new year. And we're seeing, our customers returning slowly back to the office. But that's been, an interesting trend. What we see with our customers going through that is that, most of this year, they've really focused on, everyone's got to work off site. So how do we support them? So a lot of the IT focus was around providing remote access, remote services, support desks, support businesses were running flat chat to support staff working from home. We're now seeing those organizations, sort of the dust has settled there, and those businesses have figured out delivery of that capability, managing their staff. And now businesses, we're seeing them focus now back to, we've got to start delivering improvement, innovation, services out to their customers. And so I see them looking at, how do we actually still have people working from home, but now we want to drive productivity and performance improvement. So how do we do that, in this kind of new situations. So we see those businesses now sort of coming back to driving growth, but with that challenge of, hey, I don't have my hands around all my people.
And so what's the short version of your personal journey in the world of tech?
So I've been involved in tech since I came out of uni as an electrical engineer some 30 plus years ago. So I spent a lot of time in telco during the mobile revolution, from mobile phones that were like this to this. Yeah. Then I was in IT professional services during the whole cloud revolution. So, some huge change over those 3 decades. And it's shown me that, technology is an amazing enabler for business. It's got the power to make or break organizations. And the challenges for businesses really hasn't changed over that time. It's just that the horizon is now so much shorter. And for me, that impact for me is that it drives me to find ways to be more agile and more innovative in that shorter space to deliver value to our customers.
So you probably touched on this a little bit already, but what are some of the industry trends or industry pain points that have driven Systemology's success to date?
Okay, so some trends. So I think the first trend that we see is the whole of business self-service automated provisioning. So, what that is most organizations today have already set up their internal online IT shop. Staff ask for services, equipment, and we're seeing now businesses expand that out to be a whole of business, organization-wide service delivery capability. So a portal where you can submit your pay holiday leave requests and all of those wider business requests. So organizations are moving into that direction. Some have, well down the path. Many really haven't taken that step, and I think are just starting to realize, what that can be. So that delivers huge value.
And obviously you're able to help companies create that sort of service desk.
Yeah, good point. Absolutely. It's an extension of IT service delivery. It takes that rigor of that ITIL model around automated service delivery and it applies it right across the business. So yeah, that's a big part of what we do. The other part is, that extending, similar theme, it's extending the service desk from IT to non-IT. So, for example, a marketing business unit adopting an IT type service desk to deliver support to their customers. So, organizations looking at how do we move all these other operational units to use, again, that rigor of ITIL to deliver service to their internal customers, HR, finance, marketing, legal, all these other teams that, right now could probably using Excel and Post-it notes.
Where's the digital transformation?
Yeah, that's right. And look, I think probably the third trend that we see is, the messaging in the market. We see BPA, business process automation, RPA, robotic process automation, AI. There's no shortage of new technology looking for buyers. Kick it to me.
Yeah.
So, customers know their pain points, but it's really, the challenge for customers is how do they
find the
solutions to their pain points while they're being bombarded with all these acronyms and technology that people just want to kind of shove down their throats. Yeah. So that last trend is kind of it's a perennial trend. How do clients find those expert partners like Systemology to help them, traverse those issues and solve their problems?
Yeah, outcomes and solutions are the metric by which all the money and all the technology was spent is judged. So, what are some of the recent success stories that you can share?
Yeah, that's a good point. Look, I think I mentioned a marketing solution earlier. So, we've been working with one of the biggest metropolitan councils in Australia and their marketing team. So, you know, they're a team of, say, around about 50 marketing professionals. They process around about 500 separate marketing requests per month. So a whole lot of work coming through their business. They determine that they need to really lift the quality and the governance around how they work and they're delivering those services. So they came to Systemology. We took them through a whole business process review. So, forget the technology right now. Let's just focus on how you work and how you should work and what you need. So that whole process review and design is a critical piece, because that then says, what do you need from the solution? And then we took that, we elected to use Jira Service Management with Confluence as the knowledge base to support it. So great technology layer. We were able to align the process requirements into the technology and deliver then a full solution that allows that client to now deliver, more service requests, so they're more productive. They have higher quality. They can see. It's about managing the work. If I can see it, I can manage it. So their quality is up, and it's no surprise that customer service is better for them. So it's been a great result.
And I would imagine that you would have more customer success stories on the website, or that you could share with potential clients.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got heaps of information on our website. So I'd encourage anyone to just go check it out.
So what are the other trends in managed services for specialist areas? You've already told us about Service Desk, but that can't be the only one.
Yeah, look, I think, managed services, what we see in managed services, previously, and we do this for many customers, it's like uptime support, making sure that your applications are ready and available and they're working. But as we're moving into the cloud and more of our customers are moving into cloud solutions like Jira Service Management, uptime's covered. So, our innovation around managed service is now to focus on continuous improvement for customers. So, we have clients who are using Jira Service Management. So our managed service is about driving continuous improvement. So we have a unique methodology around continuous improvement. And what that does is it defines targets for improvement. We'll identify a bunch of candidates. We'll focus around targets. We identify, there'll be targets around innovation opportunities or process blocks. So we design, we configure solutions, smack those out, solve them, move on to the next iteration. So our managed service is about pushing continuous iteration, and clients don't have time for that internally. They're pushing hard, just doing their core focus work. So our managed service around continuous improvement really is capturing the market. We're seeing a lot of interest. We're doing a lot of work in that space.
Now, as we get towards the end of the interview, I always like to ask 3 questions. And the first one is about the future. I mean, we've got thoughts already about key business drivers and solutions that we'll be facing in the post-COVID world of 2021. But really, it's the entire next decade sort of is a time frame that we're going to see a lot of changes. So what do you think will be those key business drivers next year and then evolving over the next decade?
Yeah, look, I think, as you said before, 2020, we're all sideswiped by COVID-19. We're seeing that, back then we had our resources focused on around the remote working. But yeah, moving forward, I think it's about how does a business continue to push for growth in performance and productivity and quality? And they're not easy things to solve. Those solutions, they touch people, process, and technology. And so for clients, their challenge is to find partners to help them with those three pillars and to figure it out. It's not about picking a technology and thinking that'll be the answer. It never is. It's got to be that combination, and it's got to be that objective assessment of really what is the problem and how do we drive that improvement. So I think that that kind of challenge has been the challenge forever. I think moving forward, it's just within the situation of having your people more remote. How do you control process? How do you collaborate when everyone's remote? How do you manage work when everyone is remote? So you've got to come back to core business issues, business process, business requirements, and then that'll define how technology needs to work and the rest of it. So it's really about figuring that out for the next 2021 and beyond. And I think the important message for the market is client organizations need to embrace expert partners. There are those businesses who may figure that hey, we can do this ourselves, we'll figure it out. But the reality is you've got better things to do in driving your core business, and leverage partners where you need to. And I think that that's really the key way forward. And I think this last year, 2020, has really proven to organizations dealing with COVID-19 that how easily and quickly your own internal resources get smashed. So hopefully that's some learning for everyone moving forward.
Well, I always say that people work better in teams as opposed to as individuals. You can't do it all yourself, and that comes to the same story for companies. No matter how many resources you have, you really can't do it all yourself. You've got to work with other players, and players like yourself who've been there, done that, seen the problems, helped figure out the solutions, because obviously it's specific to each company, but there are obviously many similarities as well. And that's good advice. But speaking of advice, I always like to ask the people I'm interviewing if you could please share some of the best pieces of advice that have helped you to get where you are today.
Gosh, it's actually pretty simple. It's focus and commitment, and in fact, I'd call it laser focus and passionate commitment. And they're actually simple words, but it's taken me quite a few years to understand the depth of focus and commitment that's actually needed. And you either want it or you don't.
That's right.
And it's actually up to you. So that's the advice that I got. And like I said, it took me a long time to learn the meaning of it, but and I'm still, I think I'm still learning the depth of focus and commitment that you need to go to. But I think that'd be the advice I'd share with everyone.
Yeah, well, there's a reason why there's a saying, a mile wide and an inch deep. You really do. It's probably got to be the other way around if you're trying to focus on something and become an expert in a particular area and help people in that area as you seek the help of others in the areas that they're expert in. So what is your final message to IT Wire viewers and readers, and to your current and future Systemology customers?
Yeah, look, Systemology was created, to bring that focus and passion to our customers. So our single purpose is to deliver tangible business improvements. Technology is an important tool, but it's not the center of the universe. The client is. So, my message to organizations is focus on your core strengths and leverage expert partners to deliver that innovation and improvement quickly. And then your challenge is to seek out the right partner. And, the biggest is not the best. Your challenge is to seek out those partners that fit the way you want to be working. So that's my message.
Well, John Mustac, founder and director of Systemology, thank you very much for your time. I hope we all have a better 2021, and I hope we can talk again soon.
Thank you, Alex. Cheers.